30 minutes left. And we'll just start, make a set of instructions, and we'll let Marguerite catch up. So what do you do?
I can't see your screen.
To have you build a wiki that annotates some articles about annotation and hypertext. So what's a set of instructions? What are your tasks?
Steve?
What do you do first? What do you do first? You don't have a screen. You're like, wait, you need a screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it working? Yeah. What do you do first? What do you do first in every exercise?
Figure out.
Make a wiki. What do you do next? Marguerite, used to get in there? Okay. Let me know when you're in the room. So go ahead and share your screen. There's a big green button on the bottom. There you go. So go ahead and create a new Tiddly spot. You can do it in your existing Tiddler. That's, oh, because you use the same wiki over and over again, right? Okay, so you can do that. So we'll call it exercise 4.01. And so you're gonna, first step, you can make that full screen, I think. And close your sidebar. And zoom in. Like 5 Apple pluses. There you go. That's good. Better? Okay, so we're gonna create a new wiki or use the same one. So that's your first step. Hey, how do you number steps, by the way, Tiddly wiki? #. Yep, space. And create a new wiki or new Tiddler for this exercise. Okay. And then another # will give you a 2. Okay. What's next? We need some source material. Yeah. How many do you want to find? How about one on annotation, one on hypertext? Everybody okay with that? So go ahead, find one article on hypertext. Where'd we go? You can type that. Are we there? Marguerite? Yeah. Yep, okay. So find an article on hypertext and one. How come we keep losing you? So go ahead and type that. Find an article on hypertext and an article on annotation. One each. So maybe one each. Find one article on hypertext, one article on annotation, just so everybody's clear. That's fine, yeah. Okay. And what do you do with that article? Yeah? You have to ingest it? Yeah, so ingest each article into its own Tiddler. And then we're going to, next, if we're going to stick with Eric's logic and one that I agree with about paragraphs, what's the next step going to be? Yeah, how do you make those paragraph tiddlers? Yep, use the excise tool to split the articles into paragraphs by titlers or paragraph or sections. What do you want? What do you think is most likely going to be useful for annotation purposes? Paragraphs or sections?
Sections.
So separate notes for each section. If there's 5 sections to an article, your notes. Okay, you can choose that. My experience leads me to realize that when I'm reading, the paragraph really becomes the unit that I want notes about. Most of my notes, my annotations, my scribbles on journal articles, my highlights are not about sentences, not about sections, but about paragraphs. To me, a paragraph is the unit below which it's really not productive to go. It's not productive to split an article into separate titlers for every sentence, because I rarely want commentary at a sentence level. But like 5, and a section in most articles is going to be, I don't know, 5 to 7 paragraphs. So if I just have notes about that and I say, oh, where was that? I have to go find that in that 5 to 7. So I don't know, my sense would be paragraphs is probably going to be better for you. But you can play with it. You might do 1 article in sections, 1 in paragraphs, and explore, because this is really about what you think of this practice, not what I think. So, okay. And then what do? You're now reading, and you're ready to add an annotation. What's the technique that we use? What's a technique that you've learned that you could use to annotate? Pardon? The table of contents is going to come when you've built your annotations. So your head. You could tag stuff. Do you want to tag the paragraphs?
Maybe based on the content of that paragraph.
Okay. So one technique. Let's give Marguerite. Let's write a little subheader. How about use some of these techniques to annotate the articles? Okay, now you can hit return and two pound signs. There you go. So one that Kyle suggested was add tags. What are you going to tag? Which titlers are you going to tag? The tittler for the article, the tittler for the paragraph? Because you're adding your annotation, your thoughts, your associated tag to that paragraph, not to the whole article. Okay, so add tags to paragraph titlers or section titlers.
Create like a link section of the article though.
Explain how that would work.
Like if you, so you put the brackets around it, stuff around whatever you want.
Around the words.
Yeah, that way it went to and use that to build off to make your animation.
Okay. So did you get, Ben hasn't talked. Did you hear, put some words around what Kyle just said so that Marguerite can type it.
What was that?
Say that again. Kyle, you were right there. Oh, he's getting a text. Say that again.
You could put brackets to link certain words, create your annotation, and then you tiddler off of that.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Put that in words that Marguerite can type. Somebody. Instructions that you would see on your set of instructions, directions for the exercise, that you'd know what that meant.
Yeah.
I get the idea, I get the concept. We just need some instructions. Somebody got them? How about bracket keywords? She's literally putting bracket keywords. Okay, so let's literally do that. That's a good idea. How do you to create text in TiddlyWiki that's not going to be interpreted? you started off with, so put your cursor in front of the word bracket, and you need 2 backticks. Backspace. No, don't put brackets there. Put 2 backticks. Like, what's a backtick? Anybody know the backtick key?
Tilde, but not shifted.
Yeah, it's your right pinky not shifted. That's a backtick. Everything has a name. 2 of them. You only have 1 backtick. I think you need 2, although I guess you don't. Looks like it's working. Okay. What that does is, because of a style that's set somewhere, anything that's set off puts it in red with a gray background. So bracket keywords, then you can close the backticks there. Another set of backticks, yeah, to make new tiddlers. See if that works. Oh, it does. And just to make it sure, let's make sure it really works. You're going to kill me now, Margaret. Put some brackets around the words bracket keywords. No, don't erase. Yeah, to make new tiddlers. Just so inside your backticks. No, inside your backticks, put brackets. There you go. So now it's not interpreting and taking her to a tiddler called bracket keywords. So it's just a way of generating commented text. Okay, that's a good idea. There's another form of annotation. What else could we do? What are you going to put in those tiddlers that you create, Kyle? What are you going to put? Yeah.
Can't you do a list form while creating a field called annotations in each paragraph, transcoding the fields?
Well, you don't have the annotations yet. You're creating them. You're still in the process of making the annotations. You're with Marcus. You want to start processing them before they exist.
But didn't you already make the paragraph tiddler?
We've got all the paragraph tiddlers made.
So why wouldn't you finish?
By adding fields to the paragraphs?
Yeah.
And what would be in your fields? Notes?
Annotation.
Okay. What would you call the first field?
What do you mean?
So you want to create a note in a paragraph tiddler, right? I'm sorry, you've got a paragraph tiddler. You want to create a field.
Well, annotation, comment, note.
Whatever. And so what if you wanted to have 2 annotations on tiddler?
You need
2 fields. Okay. You could create them in fields. I think tags work. I get new tiddlers. I think that fields is not the quite right place to put it right now. Let's not do that because there's no way to control for how many annotations you have. You don't know ahead of time how many you want. There's one other feature that we've used. Anybody remember new here? Remember what does new here do?
Creates a new tiddler that's already tagged with the title of the one.
Okay, creates a new tiddler that's tagged with the title of the tiddler from which you clicked new here. So if you click new here on one of your paragraph tiddlers, it would create a new tiddler that would get tagged back to that paragraph. And so it's Ryan's approach adds brackets to keywords. The new here approach creates new tiddlers using tags, which is a different. It's yet again a different approach, and I think it will yield different results. So put that in here. Use new here. To create annotations. Okay, so there's a set of directions. You can save that, and you can, yeah. So we're going to keep that, and you'll send me an email with the link, so I'll know to drag that in. And let's go through the process of grabbing one of her articles. So go to Google Scholar, which is scholar.google.com. You've been there before. And search for hypertext. And can you zoom in a bit on that? Okay. And we're looking for an article, not so much a book. And do you see anyone that look like it might be of interest to you? I like that Lost in Hyperspace article. See Lost in Hyperspace? It's about 7 down. Yeah. Do we have the full text of that? Okay. How do you find full text articles? This is a library exercise as well. Grab the title of the article. You can go back to Google Scholar. Sometimes you can get them directly off of Google Scholar if there's a PDF out there. So you might find that, you know, sometimes they're listed as a PDF, but in that case it's not. So let's grab that title of the article, copy that and go to library.sunit.edu. Still sunit.edu, and now you got it. Yeah. And paste it right there in the discovery service. And this works pretty well. But not for you. Huh, surprises me. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't show up. Because I'm pretty sure we have that. Those are going to give you the only, those are all the full text ones. Just search for Lost in Hypertext, get rid of everything after that. Maybe we don't have that article. There it is, Lost in Hyperspace. Lost in Hyperspace, I guess that's what it was, yeah. HTML full text is what you want. Down, right, you know, there, yeah. That's not it. You want the article. Come on. Does it go back or no? Yeah, it's the first one, the article, Lost in Hyperspace, metrics, check for full text. Check here for full text. On the left, I thought we had that, but they keep changing. Last time I checked, we had it, but. Okay. Once you find an article, if you find it in HTML, it's easy to copy and paste. If you find it in PDF, what do you do with it? What do you all do with PDFs? Go back and see if you can just find a PDF article and make a copy and download it. Any PDF is going to do. Yeah, wherever. There's a hypertext introduction and survey that we have. They're all going to say, yeah, they're all going to say PDF in the link. So you can scroll down until you see one that looks interesting that says PDF. Hypertext tool for policy discussion. Let's say that we wanted to work with that one. So GBiz, yeah. And you want to click on the PDF link because that will give you the whole PDF article. Yep. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, PDF. Okay. Anybody ever work with PDF files? So there's tools. Search for PDF to text. And yeah, you can use one of those and see if you can get a text equivalent. Basically, you upload a PDF document and we'll give you a text document in return. And then you can import that text into your wiki, excise the text into paragraphs. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to do most of what you want. Usually they cost money, but usually you can do the first 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 for free. And there's some that are even longer for free. So you can find those tools, convert your articles to text, ingest them, tag them, and then, so ingest them, tag them, use Kyle's approach or use new here. So now we've got 2 articles broken into paragraphs. Some of those paragraphs have annotations. Some of them are keywords that you've highlighted, and perhaps you've gone and looked up the definitions of those words, or you've extracted the text from the articles that define those words. You've tagged some of the ideas in these articles with the practices, linking, tagging, transcluding, templating, and listing. You've got a bunch now of tiddlers that are your annotations. You want to associate, and this is Marcus's idea and Eric's idea, right? You want to, at minimum, make sure that all of the tiddlers that you've created as annotations, things that you've written, tags that you've created, tiddlers that you've created through bracketing or tiddlers that you've created through new here, all of those tiddlers that are yours, that have your text, tag them as an annotation or give them a common tag so you can find them. And then you can use Eric's idea of list, links, annotations. You might go back to use the same strategy that you did in 302 when you did the Wikipedia article, or in 301 when you did the Google News. You can create an equivalent of news panel that has your story, your article, and then in between every paragraph, it might list the annotations that are associated with those paragraphs. You can play around with different ways of writing your knowledge and your understanding onto these articles. Okay. If you could by Thursday, at least get started. Find one article, ingest it, and make an annotation. So then we can start from there and build off of that on Thursday. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, did everybody catch those directions well enough? Okay. So Marguerite, thank you very much for doing that. Send me an email with the link to where you just wrote those directions, and I'll link to it I'll just pull it in so everybody's got her directions. And I'm not going to add much to it. I want to see what you can come back with on Thursday. We'll go from there.